Okay, I'm not going to work blue. I walked up to them and the half circle effortlessly expanded to include me. They were talking about my ex-girlfriend, Susie Chung, who played cello and was apparently creating quite a stir by dating a baseball player named Caddy Mac. Whether this was his given name, I didn't know, but at any rate, Susie had decided to go to prom with Caddy Mac, another casualty. Bro, said Ben, standing across from me. He nodded his head and turned around. I followed him out of the circle and through the door. A small, olive-skinned creature who had hit puberty but never hit it very hard. Ben had been my best friend since 5th grade, when we both finally owned up to the fact that neither of us was likely to attract anyone else as a best friend. Plus he tried hard, and I liked that, most of the time. How you doing? I asked. We were safely inside, everyone else's conversations making ours inaudible. Radar's going to prom, he said morosely. Radar was our other best friend. We called him Radar because he looked a little bit like this bespectacled guy called Radar on this old TV show MASH, except that 1, the TV Radar wasn't black, and 2, at some point after the nicknaming, our Radar grew like 6 inches and started wearing contacts. So I suppose that 3, he actually didn't look like the guy on MASH at all, but 4, with 3.5 weeks left in high school, we weren't very well going to re-nickname him. That girl Angela, I asked? Radar never told us anything about his love life, but this did not dissuade us from frequent speculation. Ben nodded, and then said, you know my big plan to ask a fresh bunny to prom because they're the only girls who don't know the Bloody Ben story? I nodded. Well, Ben said, this morning some darling little 9th grade honey bunny came up to me and asked me if I was Bloody Ben, and I began to explain that it was a kidney infection, and then she giggled and ran away. So that's out. We're going to skip ahead a bit. Oh, there we go. There we go. Through the thickening mass of humanity crowding the hallway, I could see Margot Roth-Spiegelman. She was next to her locker, standing beside her boyfriend, Jace. She wore a white skirt to her knees and a blue print top. I could see her collarbone. She was laughing at something hysterical. Her shoulders bent forward, her big eyes crinkling at their corners, her mouth open wide. But it didn't seem to be anything that Jace had said, because she was looking away from him, across the hallway to a bank of lockers. I followed her eyes and saw Becca Arrington draped all over some baseball player like she was an ornament and he a Christmas tree. I smiled at Margot, even though I knew she couldn't see me. Bro, you should just hit that. Forget about Jace. God, that is one candy-coated honey bunny. As we walked, I kept taking glances at her through the crowd, quick snapshots, a photographic series entitled Perfection Stands Still While Mortals Walk Past. As I got closer, I thought maybe she wasn't laughing after all. Maybe she'd received a surprise gift or something. She couldn't seem to close her mouth. Yeah, I said to Ben, still not listening, still trying to see as much of her as I could without being too obvious. It wasn't even that she was so pretty. She was just so awesome, and in the literal sense. And then we were too far past her, too many people walking between her and me, and I never even got close enough to hear her speak or understand whatever the hilarious surprise had been. Ben shook his head, because he'd seen me see her 1,000 times, and he was used to it. Honestly, she's hot, but she's not that hot. You know who's seriously hot? Who? I asked. Lacey, he said, who was Margot's other best friend. Also your mom.
It's not the end of this video, and it's not the end of John talking. There'll be more. I just wanted to share the line that really made me laugh, which John stopped right before because it's just slightly naughty. Ah, yes, here it is. And now John didn't want to work blue because there were little baby nerd fighters in the room, and if there are any little baby nerd fighters watching this, turn off the video now, or at least go show the video to your parents first while you're not in the room, and then ask them if it's okay for you to watch the rest. Okay, let's see, where were we? Honestly, she's hot, but she's not that hot. You know who's seriously hot? Who? I asked. Lacey, he said, who was Margot's other best friend. Also your mom. Bro, I saw your mom kiss you on the cheek this morning, and forgive me, but I swear to God, I was like, man, I wish I was Q. And also, I wish my cheeks had penises. There was one other line in the book that made me laugh that much, but if I read it to you, it won't make any sense. So you're just going to have to wait until you read the book. Yeah, I underlined that. I thought that was good. So tune in next time for the rest of John talking. It'll be awesome. I mean, it already was, and now you'll see it and you'll think it's awesome too. So, okay. Bye.